James Gang with Joe Walsh as their guitar player. The second floor never would have bread music playing, not at all. That was not allowed. James Gang definitely yes. So we were getting ready to head out en masse to the concert gathering on the hallway. And Greg was the last one who walked out of his room. His room was right next to the stairway. He had a bread album in his hand. That album had never been heard or had ever been seen. He picked that album out of his sleeve, put it up in his hand and said, "Fuck bread, we're gonna see James here," and smash that album. And that's the other side of Greg. Cheers to that.
So when Rick and Charlie said Greg wants an Irish plate, they usually thought,
I thought you
"Yeah." So, let you know my qualifications, I'm 98% Irish and 2% British. So, but so I racked my brain trying to figure out the appropriate Irish toast. And it has to be appropriate for the type of person we're talking about. And I didn't know Greg as much as you that night, but I would go to his place on the second floor and I just talked. He was the quietest, most thoughtful guy in the whole Pike House. So I read this, I got it. My phone over there?
Yes.
Come on.
We're all getting older.
Hey, I said it was Irish.
Didn't forget to drink.
Never do that. So, those we love don't go away. They walk beside us every day. Unseen, unheard, but always near. Still loved, still missed, and very dear. The grief of our loss may be with us for long, but the joy of our memories will stay forever. I was going to do the one like a devil. No, your dad. 30 minutes. Sláinte. Yep. I do.
I've got a story. I've got a story. Every time Dave and I have moved, you guys decide that we need to have New Year's. So we had just moved into our house in New York. And if you, some of you remember little Jimmy was 3.5 years old. And in our family room, there was a big old chair, and sitting in it was Greg. And little Jimmy walked over to him and he said, "You want a pretzel?" And he said, "Sure, I'll have a pretzel." So Jimmy runs in the kitchen, gets one pretzel, gives it to Greg. And Greg sits there, in the typical Greg, savoring this pretzel. Oh, this is wonderful, this is wonderful. James, do you want another one? Runs into the kitchen, gets another pretzel. This goes on and on and on. And at some point, Greg got thirsty and he got up and left. And little Jimmy runs in with a pretzel and he goes, "Where's the pretzel, man?" So I want to raise a toast to the pretzel. Fun.
I remember conversations that, were never small talk. It was just, long or short, soul food, brain food, heart food. It was great. I was looking forward to time with Greg. And I remember one year during baseball, he saw a sick bonsai tree. And he cared, and I think he gave it another year of life. He would have enjoyed it and not care. And such a blessing to us all.
So I'm going to add to Dave's story about the bread concerts. I was there. And what happened was, it was really stupid that Purdue put those two bands together. Nonetheless, Brett played first. When they finished, like half the audience got up and left. really pissed off anybody that was there was gonna stand, including Greg and Fat Man. And when they came home, they were so mad, probably drunk. And they took the cover off that bread thing, and Fat Man, you know, we had the tags of where to wake you up, you know, right on the outside the door, but he wrote on there, third call drag, and that's when he hung up there instead of his tag, was this big red out. So, just let him know how upset he was.
We all moved up to the front and let people laugh, so we had really good seats for And I think that's the first concert where they let you wear blue jeans into the Howard Music.
Yeah, we used to wear suits.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a suit
Right.
guy.
I think they let you wear blue jeans, and I think
Yeah.
that might be the first time we were allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Is that before or after the Allman, did the Allman Brothers play there or not?
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah.
We were there.
That was a landmark. The All
Yeah.
Stars was very much a landmark.
It was.
Yeah,
We
they
waited in
changed
line.
it. Yeah.
We pipes waited in line for like 2 days. We got those tickets in the fifth turn.
No, that
We
reminds
had like
me.
front row. Yeah, we were right in front
They
row.
produced all of the Osmond
Well, they-
Is that the first, was that the?
So one of the only things that, my dad specifically wrote down that he left me was his record collection. And, yes, yeah, and he, like, I think he taught me an appreciation and love for music. I also have, like a vinyl player, like I have my turntable, and I have my own set of records, slightly different from what my mom and my dad listened to, but,
No
totally.
bread.
No bread.
No bread.
No bread, no bread. Maybe one day, I'm not sure about that. But the funny thing is that, you know, it's written down, he wrote it down, it's in his writing, it says Ellen, vinyls, all that stuff. And then I brought it up to my mom and I said, you know, he left me all his vinyls, he left me his turntable, I'm really excited about, you know, getting to know like a lot of this music that I don't know. And she said, oh no, those are all mine. And I remember her telling me that one of the reasons she married him is, well, he married her is for her taste in music and the vinyl collection that she had. But like, Mom, here's the proof. You gotta just deal with it.
To the vinyl. Well, Greg was hooked up with the right one, because Tom had such a huge vinyl collection,
Oh,
and he
God.
was,
Yeah.
for Columbia Records,
Yeah.
he was like their tester. So he'd keep getting those boxes of vinyl, free vinyl, and he'd go around handing them out.
Yeah.
To, you know, I need to do a review on these records. It's great to be his friend, for more reasons than just.
He's running out of space in his house right now. There's no place to put it all.
All downstairs in the basement.
Yeah.
This is my collection.
Tom?
He's
Yeah.
got thousands.
10,000.
10,000.
It's amazing.
Anybody else?
Let's see, we have such a great group of friends here, we've known each other for 50 years. In fact, when I pledged, I was a sophomore, and pledged as a freshman. I was kind of coached into pledging, really wasn't interested in it. Tom Donald, a couple of guys from the house, and I put on. It's a long story, but we ended up with that class. Greg was in my class, Greg, Tom, Lars, Spats, Bill Graff, John McCormick. Me, Big Larry, Anyway, so since he's graduated 9 or 10 of us, it's still been active over the years. John, very fast, but I think back, how did this thing ever get started? What was the impetus? And it's not just our class, that was a big part of it. Younger class after Dave, Charlie, and Alex, and all the other guys came after us. And guys that were there before, Tommy, and Aaron, and that group, Ralph.
I'm on the board for the foundation, so I'm quote unquote historian.
Yeah.
But, so I spent a lot of time thinking about all this stuff, and there was, I think there was something kind of, and that horrible tragedy happened actually before we pledged in the house. But I wonder, thinking back, that might have had something to do with why we had this bond. There was, I didn't know any of this, there was a horrible car accident, this was December 4th. We pledged in January, started pledging in January. And 4 guys were killed, another guy was severely hurt in this automobile accident. One of the guys was Wes Brown, who was going to get married the following week. He was killed in his accident. Anyway, horrible tragedy in the house. Of course, I think nobody here probably knew any of this. Well, Donnie
He
was
was saved, maybe he came.
he was a survivor. Anyway, so we had a huge pleasure last night. We 35 meetings and you know, we didn't know all the people close from this, but it was a double run. Greg was close part of that group. And I wonder, people in the house, you know, I definitely something about that incident, I'm sure helped spur on the emotions and the closeness and the bonding. I don't know, I think that's something I believe. But, so here we are. 50 years later, whatever, we're still doing this. So appreciative that we, and Charles spoke so kind of has this days and everything. But we continue to do this every year after year for all this time. It's amazing. Talk to other people. And I just can't believe. And even, you know, I see a lot of the bikes, you know, go back to the reviews because I'm on the road. And this is pretty good.
It's extremely rare.
So we're very fortunate, and then, you know, and then it gets the time when we're getting older and we start losing some people we love. But anyway, I just want to thank Ellen for coming here and representing for Greg. I was so, I didn't know at the time, but I still happy. I was happy when Greg showed up last year for the news, because he hadn't come for a couple of years. There's probably
I got a story about
there's a
that.
story about
Yes.
that. And I'll let somebody else tell us. But it was so great to see you. I haven't seen you for several years. And think back now, oh gosh, that was it. That was the last time I saw you. And I know it had to be an effort on his part to come. And it's meant so much for all of us to be there. So this is Greg and our group. Long mission for years.
Yes.
Sorry to talk.
I'm pretty sure that he lied to my mom about where he was going.
Was he going to the drugstore? The drugstore meant something other than CVS.
I heard this third party, but I think he didn't really tell her entirely what was going on. But she probably would have said, oh no, you can't go, you're not going out. He absolutely wanted to go by himself and do everything that he would have done normally, go to ball games, go hang out with people. He didn't want anything to stop him, and he didn't want to tell anybody what was going on, so that was his choice. He wanted everybody to remember him, in a happy way, in a fond way. So the Irish whiskey is the perfect thing, and, yeah, just, you know, relax and enjoy and share. Yes, yeah.
Pass that around. After New Year's.
I'd like to say a few words.
Yeah, Bill.
Yeah, Greg and I, we had a special relationship with our music. I don't know if you knew, but Greg and I got together a number of times just to play our guitars. And
even as recent as, maybe a couple years ago, he called me and he said, hey, listen to this flick. And that was just, really just out of the blue, and I was so touched by that. But Greg, you know, to me, Greg was the kind of guy that doesn't say much, but has an uncanny way of saying just what needs to be said at the right moment. And I'll never forget the time that he and I and Ed Eastwood, for some reason, one winter decided to just take off. And he wanted to go show us his parents' new home in Rochester. And so we left and had the 8-track going, you know, the whole way up there. Went up, visited his folks, and then stayed there for a couple of days. One of those days, we decided that we were going to go see Niagara Falls, because we were in the suburb of Rochester, New York, and you know, the Niagara Falls not that far away, so we said, yeah, let's go to Niagara Falls. You know, and, I made everybody out of their mind at that point anyway. But it was middle of the afternoon. We drove up there, drove through the border, went to Niagara Falls, peeked over, everything was frozen, walked around, and thought, now we've seen it, let's go back. So we head back, and as we approach the border, for some reason, these security type people way up there that we could see, they were stopping, getting closer and closer, and they were just stopping everybody. And I was panicking because I was driving, and Ed's waving around this bag of weed. And I said, let's just dump it. And Ed said, no way. So as we're getting really close, I mean, we're in the next car, Greg just, it was quiet for a minute, spurted out. Stuff that in your pants, and if they come up and talk to you, tell them, me don't speak English. So I thought, anyway, we got up there, we didn't get stopped, but I felt pretty good by then, because I had a game plan. We got out of there, but I thought, in a lot of ways, even though I didn't have to deal with anything, just the fact that he gave me some kind of solution to deal with it, it made a difference. The other thing I want to mention is another pretty memorable trip for me involving Greg. I visited Greg's family, his parents, in, I guess it was in Georgia. And I just thought, I was so impressed with his parents. Just really great, engaging, personable, just all the things that I thought was just, you know, it's very, very different from my parents. I mean, nothing against my parents, but it's very, very different. And I thought, at that time, I thought, when I grow up, I want to be the kind of parent that his parents were. And I don't think I did very, very well, but when I spoke with when I spoke with Ellen earlier today, I found out that Greg turned out to be just that kind of parent that I had always wanted. So I would drink to Greg. Cheers. Cheers to Greg.
Anyone else?
I've got a memory, I did not go to was in the boy color, so it was myself and Dave, my husband, and Ted and Randy and Greg. So who do you think ended up being the designated driver? That would be Greg.
Of course.
He was driving and I was the navigator, and then we had these three guys in the back seat, pretending like they were back at Purdue. So it was an interesting travel, but he never said a word over, he just got us to where we needed to be and got us home. And yeah, well, it was amazing.
And at the time, he was, you know,
Not
very,
at all.
very,
Yeah.
yeah. So I bet he was the happiest he's ever been, so all I
And
say.
he did say that his wife was on her way there too.
Yeah.
She was gonna take another car.
Yeah, she would have never let him go, but I'm glad that he did, you know, had to, so. Yeah, cheers to that.
Yes, I didn't remember too much. I was talking to Grace and later, remember too much about Ray, but I do remember he was in my first class, and I remember being more in front of me and having a conversation sometime. And I may get this part wrong, but I remember one time we were talking about, you get down to the house and do the union, and you're going down that hall, and you just see doors that are getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and I thought, what is going on here? So I tried, of course. But that wasn't a good one. But I will also say, in terms of Ireland, my daughter and I love Ireland. My daughter and I went to Ireland last week. I had to go to Sligo because I wanted to see where one of the greatest poets of Irish language was buried. And the epitaph on his grave is basically cast a cold eye, blind, and dead, horseman of dust. And it's under this huge mountain. It's under the boat. It was probably one of the more famous lines in Irish history. That was on very sad.
Alright, I can't have an empty cup right next to it. For some water. So maybe, unless somebody else has something to say, I would just like to say, he had a love of Lord of the Rings, so to be a wizard, I never knew this, so this is a picture. Blue eyes, tall, like, gray hair, but before he had gray hair, he had the long 70s hair, you know, and then after that, because his hair, it was always this, like, dark, wavy, salt and pepper kind of thing, but to me, he was stoic, didn't talk much, so when he did talk, it mattered. And then when he wanted, the biggest thing he loved in life was teaching people, and it's about birds, about nature. I learned so much from him, so I think wizard is perfect. That's how I would describe that. So yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Your drink is good.
It's okay.
Anyone else? Just, you guys said it all, so I don't have a lot more to add. In my mind, Greg was just solid as a rock. He loved his family and his friends. And we'll all miss him. And he's gone up there with several of our other friends, Steve Pepper, Ralph Ford, Eddie Swood, John McCormick, just recently Greg Hartwell. They're all up there.